What is up, guys? It is Joseph from Joseph Date Tech, and this is the last video on the last day of 2024, which was the most full year I've ever had in my entire life. I went from a stereotypical phone photographer to an absolute pro photographer. Well, not pro photographer, but pretty close to that level. I mean, I've had multiple people tell me that my photos look like professional photos. Yeah, and this is actually the first year that I've genuinely started editing my photos as well. So yeah, it's there's been a lot that's happened this year. I mean, personally, I've changed a lot this year. Hobbies have changed a lot. I've improved on a lot of things. School has changed a lot. Everything in my life has basically did a full 180 this year, and it has been absolutely insane, and I think y'all guys can also relate to this. Now let's go ahead and get into the video. So yeah, before we start with anything crazy, there's this lens that I've wanted for at least half the year, ever since I got this camera, and I finally got it. The last month of the year, my most improved month of the year, I finally got it. I'm gonna be unboxing it right now. Thank God it was bubble wrap, because I literally dropped this outside. There it is. The Olympus 12-60 f2.8 to f4. This is a pro lens from 2006. It's a 4/3 lens, which I already have a 4/3 lens, and dang, this is my telephoto. This is my f4 telephoto. The Olympus 41-50. It's supposed to be a kit lens, but it's an f4, basically, f3.5 to 4.5. And now, this is, yeah, compared to each other, this is it. Anyways. Alright, so to actually start out this video, I'm going to talk about some things that I've done this year. So starting off, I'm just going to give a little bit of backstory. Starting off the year, I had this Lumia 1020. This is my camera throughout pretty much all of 2023, but at the end of 2023, I decided it was time to get a real camera. So in January, I finally settled on the Olympus EPL6. Now, I don't have that camera anymore. Now, I do have the lens that I originally bought with it, which is the Lumix 14-42 kit lens. I literally don't use this lens anymore because I don't like the Google lens on it. But that camera took me from January to June with that camera, and I took some of my favorite pictures on that camera, even though it wasn't the best quality. It was all in JPEG, but yeah, some of my best photos were taken on that camera, and that's when I started to get into editing on Snapseed, because I didn't have Lightroom back then. Yeah, that was my starting point. And then in June, I decided I got a pretty decent recognition, so I decided that I was going to go ahead and buy the Olympus EM1 because it's a little bit more professional and it's got some more features that I need. But yeah, that camera has got me from then to now, and I don't plan on upgrading it. I just plan on upgrading lenses. But yeah, and then, yeah, ever since June, I've done a lot. So let's just go over it in a little bit more uniform fashion. So starting off, we have major achievement. Now, my biggest major achievement is just the fact that I've progressed from a phone to an entire setup. And that alone is honestly pretty crazy. I know most photographers will probably say that that's pretty good progression towards the year. And yeah, you can see my photos from back then and my photos now, a lot different. My editing style, and also this is my first year I've been using Lightroom. Well, actually, first year I've really started to edit photos at all, so I went from Snapseed to Lightroom. But yeah, my photos went from, had a mass change in editing styles and multiple edit style changes. Yeah, I think I finally got editing down, so that's another achievement. And just some little things, I released my first website finally, technically my second website too. I released only 8 videos this year, but I have started doing weekly short form content on Instagram, and that has actually been going pretty decently, so I'm proud of that. And speaking of Instagram, I have over 3,000 followers now, which is, yeah, all done this year basically, which is actually pretty crazy if you think about it. YouTube hasn't really grown too much, but I'm proud of what I have done. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. We're just talking about photography right now. I'll talk about my life later, because you don't want to hear that right now. Challenges. What are the biggest challenges I've faced this year? And well, biggest challenge I faced this year is time management, and that external and internal. Time management is kind of an issue when I have school going on and everything else, but it's also because I procrastinate so much on everything. But I have gotten better ever since I joined the yearbook crew at my school. I have been able to learn more about time management, getting things done by certain dates, just stuff like that. And on that topic, another challenge I faced is having to start shooting different types of photography. Now, before I was thinking, oh, I'll just do the normal stuff, nature, landscape, city, just all that stuff that I'm used to doing. Nope. I have been forced this year to shoot action, sports, events, portraits, everything. I've pretty much shot every single type of photography this year, and there's some things that have brought me out of what I'd like to shoot. Yeah, I've done a lot in terms of having to go outside of what I like to shoot, and I have done a pretty good job, honestly, of being able to consistently take good photos of every single type of photography. Like, I'll put some of my school photos up here, some of my best ones, some of them being shot on this camera with worse lenses, and some of them being shot on the Nikon. That's another challenge I've had to overcome, is being able to shoot on different cameras other than mine, DSLRs per se, because at my school they have much better gear there. They have the f2.8 telephotos and just super expensive equipment that I'll never be able to afford ever. But their cameras are Nikon DSLRs, 7500. So I've had to learn how to shoot on different cameras other than my own. That has been kind of a learning curve because I don't ever shoot on DSLRs. So I'm not used to having to be forced to use the viewfinder to get decent autofocus performance. But yeah, I think that's all of my challenges this year in terms of photography. Favorite shots this year? I'll put some up here. Most of them were probably taken on the EPL6, some of them on the EM1, and yeah, a lot of them are just stuff that I already liked. I mean, nature photography, architecture, just stuff like that. Galveston is probably my favorite location for photos just because I like the beach vibes. Learning moments. Never really talked about learning moments. I learned how to shoot on a DSLR, learned how to manage my time a little bit better, even though I'm not that great at it, learned to make content better. And actually, you know what? I learned videography this year. I've never wanted to or had the interest in videography ever until this year, because I'm now in a media class and I now am starting to make better content from YouTube. So that means I need to start learning how to do cinematic shots. So I'm still learning about that, but yeah, that's just my main thing that I will be doing more of starting in 2025, which goes on to the future goals. Yeah, videography 2025, that's gonna become a reality. Learning goals, just get better at composition, time management for sure, just stuff like that. That's pretty much it for that category. There's nothing really special. Behind the scenes. I ain't got no behind the scenes. I'm just all here, you know? I guess this is probably a segue to talk about personal stuff, but I don't know. If you've been watching this channel all year, you probably realize that I've changed. Well, actually, you probably haven't, but I've changed my style of videos a lot this year, and that kind of reflects how I myself have changed a lot this year. I've done a lot of self-improvement, even though some of it isn't really shown very much, but yeah, if I think about it, from January, I was a completely different person to who I am now. Yeah, this is the year that I fully committed to a life with Christ, and as you can see, I have my cross right here, so that's pretty cool. Got baptized this year, so I'll link my testimony if you want to listen to that. Anyways, yeah, that's just behind the scenes personal life stuff. Last segment of the video, gratitude. I just want to thank all of you guys that have supported this channel, supported me in this year and all the other years. People who have stayed here for multiple years, when my content was pretty bad and that's progressed. People who are just now watching this and wondering what my channel is about and what I'm about. I just want to thank anybody who sees this video and has got to this point, because if you got to this point, then you're definitely someone who decently cares about what people have to say about things. But yeah, it has been an absolutely crazy year for everyone, and I hope 2025 will be a little bit more chill, but still a lot of growth coming that year. Before I say thank you for everyone for watching, I just want to give you a little bit of rundown on what's going to come next. So, if you are at this part of the video, you have earned a prize. What's coming in 2025 is this film camera, I have shot some photos on this. I haven't developed them yet, and I don't have any more film for it either. So that's something that's coming in 2025. Also, what's coming in 2025 is my Olympus E520 DSLR, which I bought for a total of $60, but I have lenses that came with it that I'm gonna sell, and I'm gonna get most of the money off of this back. This video that's coming soon, it's gonna be about how you can get cameras for a very reduced cost. Some other stuff this year, I have the Canon FD to micro four thirds adapter, which I've already used since I already have Canon FD lenses, and an M42 adapter. So I'm going to be talking about some adapting vintage lenses. That's going to be something coming next year. Other than that, I'll probably talk about the 12 to 60 and how it's probably the best deal in photography right now, and probably going in 2025 as well. And I have some videos on the back burner right now that I'll edit next week. They are just talking videos, they're just informational, whatever. One's about what you can take pictures of when you buy your first camera, and then another one is what camera should you buy as your first camera, which, spoiler alert, it's all micro four thirds cameras, so if you despise micro four thirds, don't watch that video once it comes out. But yeah, that's all that's coming in 2025 so far, and also my business is coming in 2025, so stay tuned for that. Now, that is the end of the video. See you in 2025.